Hi, Dr. Elva Edwards from childhoodloss.com. Today I want to talk to you about, do we have enough money? You know, I had a patient come in to me recently, and she is retired, and she knows that she does have enough money, but we discovered that she had an imprint of when she was a child that there wasn't enough money. We kind of investigated where that came from, and where it came from was that her parents, her mother and father, had this agreement that each month when the man brought his check home, she would take a certain amount of money and put in 5 envelopes. Now, you know, one envelope was for the family's food, one envelope was for gas for the car, one envelope I think was for clothes, and let's say the other 2 insurance and utilities, so that when the utility bill came, that she would have the money to pay for it. And when the kids needed clothes, she would go to that envelope and put the money out for the clothes. And she had the envelope for food. And my friend said that she worried about the food because she says oftentimes at the end of the month, that last week of the month, there would be no money for food. And she worried about that. Now, see, I personally have the opinion that children should not have to worry about adult problems. But listen, it doesn't work out that way. Children watch you. I remember watching my grandparents, and they watch you and they know what's going on. I remember worrying about my grandparents' health. They didn't want me to worry about it, but I did. And she, as a little girl, was worrying about the money that they might get for food. My grandpa always had a great idea, a great expression for that. Once in a while, my grandma would worry about stuff, and he would say, "You are borrowing trouble, borrowing trouble." And so I've always used that expression. And I also have always felt that, you know, worrying never changes anything. It really doesn't do any good. It's a waste of energy, really. But I remember one time I was reading in this Buddhist magazine, and there was a kind of a comic, and there was this Buddhist teacher, and he was standing at a chalkboard, and he looked at the board, and there was this large graph, real tall, and then there was another one that was real short. And he said, "Now you see this graph? This shows all the things that people worry about." It was much bigger than I'm able to put my finger here. And he says, "You see, this graph is about all the things that people worry about that come true." And, you know, I had to laugh because, you know, it is so true that we worry about things that never happen. How many times people say, "I'm worried about somebody driving." They're fine. So, you know, early on in my life, I made it my sort of declaration that until I got bad news, I wasn't going to worry about it. I wasn't going to worry about people or things. And, you know, I've done sometimes a better job of that than others. Certainly I'm not perfect, but worry is a waste of time. But most of us, if we look into our imprints, we see that there's something that maybe you worry about. What is your imprint in terms of worry? And what is your imprint in terms of food? Do you always feel there'll be enough? Or do you feel like you better get it right now before it's all gone? Some people have told me that when they came from a large family, man, you got to get in there and get your food or it'll be gone. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.